Good evening, dear students. Okay, today we will try to understand one more method of root finding, that is Newton-Raphson method. But before entering into that, I would like you to explore a property of functions, right? That is, we can pass a function as argument to another function. You didn't explore this property yet. We have passed parameters or other variables as arguments to a function, but it is also possible to pass a function as an argument to another function. The syntax is nothing but the same syntax. Say the define the function name, and over here we put the parameters, right? X, y, or whatever it is. With this you can also pass other functions, right? Say function 2, function 3, and this is the syntax that you have to use to pass function as argument. Now this can be used beautifully in programs, and I would like to show you one example of how you can use this so that you do not need to perform the same operation repeatedly. Okay, say for example you want to take two functions. For the first function is say tan x, the second function is say x square. You have these two functions and you want to perform the same operation on both the functions. Say you want to multiply both the functions with x. So till now what you have done is you have done separate programs for both the functions, but you need not do that because you can pass functions as argument. If you want to do the same operation on both the functions, you will write the main program as a function where you can pass these functions as argument. So you need not write it repeatedly, just call it with the different functions. I'll give you an example so that it becomes clear to you. Say this same thing that I have said, that we have two functions and we want to perform this operation. How we can do it? Using this. First we will define the first function, right? So define f1. We will pass x as parameter and it will return us np dot tan x, right? Write those import numpy and all, right? Now we will define the second function, say x, which will return us x into x, right? So we have defined both the functions. Now we want to perform operation, say x into f1x, or this can be any operation. You can even perform bisection method on these two functions, or any other method in these two functions, whatever be the operation. We will define the operation also in a different function. That means define, say we name it f3 is equal to, we are passing function as argument and also we are passing the variables that we need as argument, right? And what will it return us? Say z is equal to x into f1x. This is what you need to do, and this will return us z. So now what happens? Now if we want to do the operations, what we will do, we'll simply call f3. That means says y is equal to f3. Okay, over here you have f1 written, so don't give the same name. Say if you have fu1 and fu1, this is. So now what we have to do, this is the basic format. We have to give the name of the function first and the variable second, right? So if we write y is equal to f3 f1 comma 2, what will this give me? This will return me this value, that is z is equal to x. In place of x we have given 2 into f1. F1 is tan x, so tan 2 into whatever it is, right? Right? Similarly, if we write z is equal to f3 f2 comma 2, what will this return me? This will give me say this a, this will return me f2 f2 is over here. F2 means x is square, that means it will give me x is 2 into x is, that means 2 square. So what I mean to say is, if you're performing the same operations on different functions, you did not write the program repeatedly, just pass those functions as arguments. Write the main program as a function and pass those functions as argument, and your purpose will be served just in one program. Then you just need to call the functions. Okay, try to apply this in your programs. Okay, so now let's try to understand Newton-Raphson method. Okay, so like I've told you, it is a method of root finding. Let's try to understand it graphically, right? Say we have a function which looks like this, fx. Okay, x goes along this axis and there's fx, and we want to find the exact root of the function. That is, we want to reach to this point where the value of y is 0, right? That is the x-intercept. Now, to do this, what we start with the approximate value of the root, right? Graphically, I'm trying to make you understand. Say this is the approximate value of the root. What we do is we go to the corresponding y value, that is fx1, and we draw a tangent at that point, right? That means the tangent will look like this. What we do is the tangent is nothing but it is a linear approximation of the curve, right? Now what we do is we find the x-intercept and we check if this is the root or not. See, as we can see, we are proceeding close to the root. So we draw a tangent at the corresponding y point and we take the x-intercept of it. We check if the x-intercept is the root. If it is the root, then our problem is done. If it is not the root, what we do, we again go to the corresponding y point, that is fx2. We again draw a tangent at that point and we get the x-intercept. We check if that is the root, and this process continues until and unless the x-intercept is equal to the root. In each process we are coming close to the root, right? So if we want to do it mathematically, what we do is, say this is our x1 and this is our fx1, right? So fx1 equal to y and x1 is, like, you know, if we know a point, that is if this x1 and fx1, if we know these coordinates, we can find the equation of the tangent passing through that point. It is nothing but y minus y1 divided by x minus x1, which is equal to the slope of the tangent, right? So y is equal to mx minus x1 plus y1, right? We can, from this figure, we can write the equation of the tangent line like this. Now we want to find the x-intercept, and at the x-intercept y equal to 0. So putting y equal to 0, we get the x-intercept is equal to x1 minus y1 divided by m, right? Or x is equal to x1 minus this y1 is nothing but fx1, and m is nothing but the slope at this point, that is f prime x1, right? That means we get the point, that is the intercept of the tangent. What we do is we check if this is the root, and if this is not the root, we again perform the same operation. So it is an iterative process, right? So we can generalize this as xn plus 1 is equal to xn minus f of xn minus f prime xn, because this is nothing but the x-intercept of the tangent. That means we keep on doing this process and we keep on checking if the new fx is equal to 0 or not. If it is equal to 0, then we will finally conclude that this is the root, right? If you say, for example, I will just give you a hint of the problems that you have. Say, for example, you have a function f1 is equal to tan alpha minus alpha, right? You have this function and you have to find the root of this function. So what you have to do, first of all, you have to define this function if you want to find the root, right? So you have to define f1 say alpha, return. It's better if you write everything in terms of sine and cos, because else the division will cause a problem. So just change everything into sine and cos. If you change it into sine and cos, it will be sine a minus a star np dot cos a, right? Then you have to define this f prime a, which is nothing but the derivative of the function, right? So you have to define, say the derivative, you name it df1 alpha, and you define the derivative. So this will return you the derivative of this. If you do, it is nothing but a sine alpha sine alpha. So np dot sine a. I'm not doing the program for you, I'm just telling you the basic steps that you have to do. So we have defined this function and we have defined this function. Now all we need to do is we will give a x value, that means approximate guess. X is equal to whatever you give, say 3.8 if you want to give the value of x like this, and then you have to check while np dot apps f1 x greater than 0.001 maybe. So we will enter the loop only when the approximate value is approximate. We will just enter till this condition is fulfilled. If it is less than 0, then that is the root and we'll print it outside. So if it is not the root, what will it do? It will find the next intercept, x-intercept. It will be nothing but xx, say x2 is equal to x minus f1x divided by f2x, right? And then we will interchange it with x equal to xx, and this will continue, right? And once it is over, once the condition is fulfilled, it will return, sorry, it will not return, it will print x, right? So it's a very simple program. I've nearly written the entire program for you. So all you need to do is define the function, define the derivative of the function, give an approximate root, check if that is a root or not. If it is a root, print it as x. If it is not the root, find the x-intercept of the tangent that is given by this equation over here, iterative equation. Again check if that is equal to the root. If that is not equal to the root, again find the x-intercept of the next tangent, and this process will continue until and unless you get the root. So do this method for all the 3 equations that has been given to you, and do positively send it to me as assignment, right? Thank you.